felt like no matter how much you try, nothing changes? Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Live Lama podcast. I'm Gunjan.
Rajiv.
Rajiv, I want to deep dive in the concept of learned helplessness.
Oh,
And
I
just
thought
for
you were asking me the question no matter how hard you try. And I have the answer. I was like ready. Losing weight.
please, that's a ongoing theme.
Universal
No
answer.
matter, yeah, no matter how hard I try, weighing scale doesn't move.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Nothing changes. That's true.
Yeah.
But
Coming
yeah,
back to the topic. Yes.
topic. Uh, it's a trap that we feel that we are in a cycle of inaction. And first thing I want to ask for our listeners, what is learned helplessness? How is it different from gaslighting? Because we have talked about gaslighting, and these are two different topics. There is an overlap, but these are two different topics. What is learned helplessness? How is it different from gaslighting? And where is the overlap?
Yeah. So I don't have a lot of deep knowledge, or I have not done a lot of research around learned helplessness, because I think it is like you said, it has, in my view, a lot of overlap with uh, self-gaslighting.
Okay,
That means
how's
that
that?
you gaslight yourself based on feedback or inputs or sense the uh, you know uh, signals you get from external world, and then you fall into the trap of that. I cannot do anything, so I'm helpless. But sometimes it gets into what they call as victimhood. You fall into the trap of being victim. Then everything is somebody else's fault. So yeah, it is a complex, I think, psychological issue, because it not only touches on gaslighting or self-gaslighting, but it is also around, the self-esteem, confidence, many other things related to, how you perceive the hurdles that you come across and how you overcome them.
Rajiv, you said a very interesting thing that I can't do anything. And I really don't know when people will realize that other person is thankless. It's not like I can't do anything. It's like you are thankless person. And I have got this feedback. It's not like that I have not pushed anyone in this stage of helplessness. And this realization came when my mate said, no matter how much work I do, you'll always have a problem. And my only problem was when I'm not at home, please take care of my plants because whenever I come back, they're gone.
And
They're dead. And it was Bougainvillea which was dead, which Bougainvillea, if just for our listeners, I want to tell them that they can live in the most extreme conditions, extreme rain, extreme winters,
they
extreme
died
summers.
on your terrace.
They died.
Well, maybe that's where they come to die. Like, I tease my wife that, or actually I tell my friends that our backyard is where plants come to die.
Ouch.
But the thing is that, it is not about blaming who is at fault. See, this is where I think we need to talk about, maybe this topic is interesting, that it, it is not either or. Sometimes you have to reflect at why. And it can be
Right.
multiple reasons. Something is out of my comfort zone. Something is out of my, reach. Today I can say, oh, I want to design a rocket. Nothing is impossible. Everybody will say, oh, no, you'll find a way. Find a way. But the thing is that you have to understand what are your capabilities. Are you taking up a goal that is unrealistic for you? you know do a startup, do this, the 10,000 videos that everybody looks at, and then they get, very gung up of, okay, I can do this. But the thing is, the moment of reflection should be, is it in you to do this? Then the second question is, if it is in you, why haven't you done it so far? So then the thing is that, then you can start reflecting on, coming to the realization of truth. Because a lot of times, I think, in my view, and maybe you can, educate me and the listeners a little more about this learned helplessness. Is it, what leads to it and all that? In my view, I think most of these things where you feel you are a victim or you are helpless and all that have to do a lot about yourself and how you manage the situations and people around you.
Uh, Rajiv, is it related to childhood experience? And then we are not able to come out of it, like all of us. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is that I saw a lot of reels coming on Mrs. and how she's just working, working, working tirelessly, and then nothing happens. Nobody's happy at the end of the day.
Okay,
And is
there's this new movie that came out. They're talking
Yes,
about
yes,
this.
a movie that was released on Z5, and it's
I
a
haven't
remake
seen
of Great Indian Kitchen, which is a Malayalam movie. And then
it.
I think there's a similar movie in Hollywood as well, Mrs. Denial, who had to deal with certain situation when after divorce she had to take care of kid and everything. So there are a lot of things which are connected with this particular topic, but also associated with childhood. What you have seen and how you've grown out of it. So there are two kids in a
Conditioning. Are you
family.
talking about conditioning?
Uh, how you come out of that conditioning. So if there are
Yes.
we are nine kids. I come from a joint family. It was the same situation for everyone, but each kid is different. How they
Yes.
are dealing
Correct.
life. Uh,
Correct.
so is it like what you see, and then you just try to continue that? Okay, this is what our moms have done. This is what our husbands have seen. So we'll continue like that, or is it like no, what our moms have seen, okay, maybe they're right, maybe they are not. And even our dads can be wrong at some point of time, but you need to accept that rather than justifying things that, okay, men are like this only, and it's women's job to do everything, and men's job is to take care of finances and everything, and women's job to take care of. Now it's a very messed up because women are taking care of almost everything because that rebellion was there that okay what my mom is seeing just because she was not
Yeah.
financially
Yeah.
independent
The society
we will
always moves from one pendulum. The pendulum
true.
always moves from one side to the other, trying to find, the middle. So it will, the last few decades were about, economic liberty and economic freedom for women for rightful reasons. Now, the question is that some people took it to extreme, some people misused it, some people balanced it. So you actually, bring up a good point that there, and this is something that, forget nine kids, just between you and your brother, two siblings, right? Very different, attitude, aptitude, tolerance, and everything. Now, if people can say, oh, difference, genetic difference between a boy and a girl. Even if you had two boys or two girls, you will see, difference in attitude, temperament, and everything. So I always say that you should not compare yourself to anybody else. That is the first step of failure.
Biggest
That
mistake,
is the first
yes.
step of, falling into this victimhood mentality, or uh, falling into some of these psychological complexes. Even if it is superiority complex, that is also a complex. Because, we talked about gardens, right? You talked about bougainvillea. Now, bougainvillea, you plant a rose next to it. Do you ever compare, or do they ever compare that? Oh, rose will say, or bougainvillea will tell the rose that, hey, look at me, I'm very rugged, I can thrive in every this thing, but you have to be, manured, and you are very delicate, darling, or something like that. No, a rose is a rose, a bougainvillea is a bougainvillea. So ultimately, even human beings, each of us is very different. how we shape ourselves is based on how we perceive the experiences that we get. So,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, for some people it can be breeze, but for some people it can be very high pressure. And same situation. For
yeah.
some people it can be breeze. So there are a lot of things that depends on you, how you
Everything
perceive
depends on
things.
you. I personally think that close to 100% thing depends on you, how you perceive, how you react, how you operate. If let's say today, I know that you've been talking about doing a one or two different kind of business or side hustle and all that, right?
From last 20 years it's going on.
Exactly. So, but you know, think about Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. They also had ideas similar to you. So I'm not saying that better or worse. What I'm saying is, I have, uh, you know, I I have a list of running ideas, literally a list of ideas that I have proven to myself that at least 2 or 3 years, I think 2 or 3 years ahead of time, right? Because I have idea, but I don't do anything about it. And then 2, 3 years later, I see a startup exactly working on that idea. And I'm sure there are a million people like me.
And I've
So,
said this earlier as well. I'm not Steve Jobs. I'm not
so
the
yes,
most creative person, and I
yes,
cannot bring that change. Like,
that's
I'm
fine.
not Elon Musk
That
or
is fine.
Steve
That is
Jobs.
fine.
I can pick up an idea which is already running. All I need to see is where
Yes,
can
that is
I
fine. Yes.
start?
Yeah. No, maybe you just, I am, no, I am not an entrepreneur, but I am a very good operational person. You hire me to do something, I will do, fantastic in that. But you say that, oh, do a startup, I will not, I'm incapable of doing that. So you see, it is a lot of people will say that no, that is like negative thinking. But in my view, it is realistic thinking. Because if I really had that, for example, and this is the, example give to many people that I had the eagerness and the urge to write. I wrote 5 books. I published 5 books. So, but I'm not an entrepreneur. I have not started even one company, but I have a lot of ideas. So it is realistic thinking is different from, the what you call as the, um, you know, imagining that you can do anything and everything. Because I think the psychological things around, learned helplessness and gaslighting or self-gaslighting, I should say, all that is resultant of that we do not look at ourselves in the mirror and confront our reality. That's what I think.
I think I was reading this book, Above Average, and when you talk about list of things, and then this girl was like, "Yeah, I think I'm good at making lists." I
Yeah,
think it was so relatable. Yeah, one thing I'm good at is making lists
making list. Yeah.
and then ticking them that okay, this is done, this is done, this is done. So yeah, it's very relatable. And the most deadly combination is that people who are over ambitious, like great ideas, and they can do anything, but they have very lazy mindset. हो जाएगा, कर लेंगे. That's a very deadly
Procrastination.
combination. Procrastination. That's a very deadly combination. Who support? Uh, I mean,
No, but you see, procrastination, I think we discussed it, right? Procrastination results from being afraid of failure or being afraid of being judged. And that's a psychological, people can actually read about it. Procrastination is essentially, you would see a lot of people who are um, what they call as so-called self-proclaimed perfectionists. will also be,
Yes.
procrastinators.
Yes. So, is it a common sign of uh, like helplessness? You're feeling
Yeah,
helpless and you're
victimhood,
just,
yes, yes, yeah. There is,
what
there
are
are,
the
because
common, yeah, the common signs of self-learned helplessness? Like, you know that uh, this cannot be done, or no matter what I do, I am not able to keep everyone happy. What are the common signs? And I know you cannot keep everyone happy at the same time. Not possible. Come out of that trap.
yeah.
We're not diplomats.
Yeah, not only that, I think, you cannot do everything, and, it's something that, there are some boundaries to everything, right? So sometimes it's physical, sometimes legal, sometimes it's geographical, sometimes it's, knowledge, sometimes it's money. So there are boundaries to everything in this world. And you need to just recognize the boundaries, and you also have to recognize the boundaries that you have, or that whether you have created them intentionally, whether you are conditioned by them, whether, it's not something that is just one thing that I can say this is what, you know in my, at least, I haven't done deep study on this, but I will read up on this, this thing. But based on what I'm hearing is that, in my view, it is very much related to, self-esteem, self-confidence, being projecting yourself as a victim all the time, victimhood mentality, all of these together.
Rajiv, you've worked in uh, corporate. As a manager, you ever felt like that this person is demonstrating sign of helplessness, which is leading to
So all the
a
time, yeah.
decision? And as a manager, what's a manager responsibility to bring that person out of that situation?
Manager has no response. They are not your parent. So manager or a leader can only help you where you want help. They don't owe you anything. You don't owe them anything. It's a,
Why are they leaders?
because they are leading towards a particular corporate goal, or they know how to motivate and manage people and bring results,
And bring in the
right?
business
But
and
yes,
keep it
no,
sustainable.
not every leader will bring business. They are not in, people who are in business development will be, so there is operational leader, there is visionaries, there are people who are good at sales and marketing. So these are different skills. One person will not have all the skills. But yes, if you are expecting that you can go, to your manager and cry your heart out, and, that, that person will be act like your parent and do, this thing, that's, I would say, a very, very stupid expectation. You're an adult, you know you own your life, you know where you want to go, you know your shortcomings, you know your strengths. Work on it. Yes, you can go to the manager and say, hey, I think I want to improve on my, pick anything, like presentation skills. How can you help me, you know there? Yes, that there, I think, the manager or the leader has responsibility to give you the opportunity, get you the coaching, get you everything. But, don't go and, if anybody comes to me and starts crying and say, oh, I am feeling this bad, I'll say, okay, good for you. If this place doesn't work out for you, find another job. I'm not here to parent you. I'm here to help you grow where you want to grow. If you don't know where you want to grow, then that's your problem, not mine. So, that's,
Fair,
you see
fair
that
point.
so the reason I'm using these harsh words is because that is reality. Even if a manager is trying to, like give you, very, more, like pep talk and all that, underlying he or she knows that they cannot do anything, beyond what their capability is, even in the corporate structure, right? So, So what happens is that the emotional melodrama actually causes a lot of confusion for people, because they think that, oh, manager will help me, get promotion. But the problem is that if you're not worthy of promotion, the manager will, and they actually do something which is out of the ordinary. One manager will fail because or she has promoted somebody who is incapable of delivering results, and you will fail because you got promotion because you were
We
squeaky
were
wheel.
not capable.
So that's why I'm saying it's a very complicated, psychological this thing. Uh, People do, I have come across so many situations
So
where
how
people
do
play
we
victim
break this
mentality.
cycle? And we need someone to whom we can go and talk, and
Yes, agreed.
there must be someone to whom you look up. In India, I don't think so. We have very qualified therapists. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you don't
I
need a therapist. See,
You just
this
need.
is no, you need, see, and I always encourage people to find a mentor or a coach. Doesn't have to be a professional. It can be your friend, it can be your like manager, it can be your peer, it can be,
प्यारी बहना.
anything,
Yeah.
or it can be books, it can be podcasts, it can be anything.
Yes. Yes.
See, the when this is where I differ from many people, and this was actually I was just having a discussion with somebody else literally this last week, where somebody was saying that, hey, we should give targets to our employees to do some, like, AI certifications. And I said, no, I will not give targets. I will recommend, and I will observe who takes the leadership and gets it done. And this guy was saying, no, no, unless we give them targets, they will not do it. I said, no, learning cannot be enforced. I have been a very big I'm still today, opinionated on this, that, learning cannot be enforced. Then it is not learning. You will never
या
learn.
या आप गधे को कुएं तक ले जा सकते हो, जबरदस्ती पानी नहीं पिला सकते.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like वो
Right. So
you'll
then,
enforce them, they'll do that course at a 2x speed and don't know how much they're absorbing.
I have seen people who read, literally two sentences of a statement and their life changes.
You need two
So,
sentences only to
so it all depends on you, right? Each of
what
us.
you're absorbing. Yes.
Do you have that fire in you? Do you have that capability? Are you realistic about who you are, what you want to do? Are you observant about, the limitations you have, or whether they are real or they are imagined? You have to figure it out, because each of us, have our own threshold of risk taking, our own aspirations, our own desires. Uh, there's no one size fits all. That's the beauty of it, and also that's a problem.
That's that's I would agree on that. Uh, One last question. Hopefully, one last question. Can we unlearn this? That
Yes,
feeling of victim, oh my God, there's
yes,
nobody for me. How?
yes. Uh, so I'll tell you, this my personal experience. Uh, I have I was always a techie. I still am techie. I'm a very introvert guy. Nobody believes me now, because that's what I was 20, 30 years ago. Yeah, I know. Nobody. But people who have not met me for last 30 years, when they met me, they said, no, no, if I were in a room, nobody even knew that I was in a room. So I would not speak up. I would not. So irrespective, right? So, but the main thing is that, and I was, I wanted to grow in my career, but I was unable, I had reached a plateau where, like what you said, no matter how I tried, nothing changes. And, but then there was an event that happened where, you know, and I write about that in my book also, Rise, in a chapter on presentation skills. And that opened my eyes that, no, why am I blaming everybody else when I am unable to even speak in front of 20 people? So that was an eye opener for me, that I was in that, the victimhood mentality, the term that you're using, learned helplessness and all that. But that event actually was a transformative moment for me, because I said, I have to do something about it. If I am unable to present my idea in front of 20 people, and I want to grow as a technical leader, where I am expecting, or I'm expected as a technical leader, you're expected to be able to stand in front of 200, 500, 1000 people and present your idea in a confident way. And here, in a very safe setting, in front of 20 people, they cannot even hear what I'm trying to say. So that was an eye-opening moment, and I actually came out of that victimhood mentality. But that doesn't mean that I don't fall into it again and again. But because of that, I actually now recognize that, hey, I'm falling into this, the cycle of, I call it
Yes,
victimhood mentality, but learned
yeah,
helplessness. Yeah.
but yeah, there's a good role of self-compassion to overcome this
Yes.
mentality.
Yes.
Closing lines from your side, Rajiv.
Closing lines. Well, I don't know. There was a couplet that I wrote many, many years ago, and I've used, I think, earlier also, that um, क्यों उलझे हो हाथों की इन लकीरों में, मुकद्दर उनके भी होते हैं जिनके हाथ नहीं होते. So
Very well
I
said.
think,
Yeah,
yeah, whether it
I
applies here,
thought
but yeah,
I thought तकदीर यहाँ लिखी होती है, but it's fine.
yeah,
But thank
wherever.
you, wherever.
But you get the
Thank you.
gist.
Thank you so much for listening. Do visit our website, thelailama.com, THELLIELLAMA.com. Like, share, subscribe. Do leave us a comment and let us know if you want to come on our show. We'll be more than happy to host you. Thank you so much.